Okay, hello there, I'm Dennis. Welcome to my channel, Life, Home, and My Linux Journeys. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about Arch Linux. This will be showcase number 5, and it's Arch Linux. There was one more, and I'll explain that. In my creation station here, I had the MT7010 that was running GhostBSD, FreeBSD, and it was also, or is also running Q4OS based on Debian. And because of some recent things here, I've moved that out of my creation station and put it over in my buildings section or editing section. And now we've got another machine here, and I'll get into that later on, but not this video. So in showcase number 5, I'm going to be highlighting Arch Linux. I found my notes the other day where I had installed my first Arch Linux installation, Vanilla Arch, and got it working with XFCE desktop and was completely happy with everything I had at that point back in December 19th of 2018. So in December of this year, I'll have been using it for a total of 6 years. So let's go over to my desktop. And we're going to start on the home page of archlinux.org. This is where your journey will begin in Arch Linux. You'll notice at the top right, you got the download. So you click there, that's one click. Here you can use a torrent or a magnet link. That would be 2 links or clicks. And then once that's downloaded, click it again. That's 3 clicks and you got your download. Or you can click once to get here, pick your mirror, find your whatever country you're needing, closest mirror, click on that and you've got your download. Also, the installation guide is right here, and it will carry you all the way from downloading the ISO, putting it on a disk, actually booting up to that disk, and it'll get all the way to the post-installation stuff, which is where you're going to want to be. Here's the Arch Linux wiki. It says here they're simple, modern, pragmatic, user centrality, which I like this one because that means is you are important to them. It's very versatile. You can, whatever your need is in a Linux system, you can make it happen on Arch. Early years. Judd Binet, a Canadian programmer and occasional guitarist, cool brother, began developing Arch Linux in early 2001. Its first formal release, Arch Linux 0.1, was on March 11th, 2002. We're going to see here they just had a birthday. The middle years, birth of the wiki, system era, they dropped the i30 or 32-bit support. Here is the actual Wikipedia on Arch Linux. It'll say right here, March 11th, 2002, 22 years ago. Today is the 13th, so 2 days ago, they were 22 years old. So that's very nice. And I'll make sure these links get in the description. A lot of information. And the biggest thing to me is its simplicity. It says in right here, I believe, the KISS, keep it simple, KISS system. And I totally agree. People make out like Arch Linux is really hard, but it is not. And it was my first distribution that I decided to use, and I've been happy ever since. Let me minimize this. Let's go to, pulled up, I took a screenshot on a cold boot, and I was using 590 megs of RAM at cold boot. Let's see what we're using now. Firefox open, as well as OBS Studio, a little less than 2 gigs. That's nice. Let's run a NeoFetch. Bring up another terminal. Run my little script. Let me stretch it out before I do. Hopefully my head's not in the way. All right, so it's UEFI 64-bit. We're using X11. Installed on this hard drive November the 9th last year. So it hadn't been on here 4 months yet. 16 gigs of RAM. Swapping this, I turned it down to 10. We're using an SSD and it's a terabyte. So let me clear that. We go INSI hyphen graphics, audio. Graphics, we're using X11, which we just determined, but we have X-Wayland. The driver for audio is Pulse Audio, okay? Now this was completely installed the Arch Linux way, which I've done on many videos that you can find. Optiplex 790. Look at my menu real quick. You're going to see the same stuff. OBS Studio, Kdenlive, Audacity, etc., etc. I got the full Office suite of LibreOffice. Multimedia, I've got it set up where I can do anything I want to with optical drives, video, what have you. Internet, Chromium, Firefox, QBitTorrent, Thunderbird, which I don't use, Zoom, which I do use, and fixing to use more of. Graphics, let's see, I don't have Inkscape in here, which I need to get. Some games, education, that's LibreOffice stuff. We got GNOME disk. Let's see what System Monitor says. It's going to be slightly higher, 2.4 gigs. Part of that is the System Monitor itself. So that's pretty good. Not bad, considering all that's happening. Let me close these out. We don't need them. Let's go back to my front screen here. So that's Arch Linux. And like I said, I've been running it for quite a while now, or I feel like quite a while. And I hear people all the time talking about how complicated it is or how often it breaks. And that's just not my experience. So if it was so complicated, I wouldn't have got it installed in the very first time. So it's not that complicated. It really isn't. Now, it does require a certain path or formula to install it the right way, the Arch Linux vanilla way, which they got their own installer now. So you could actually use that if you didn't want to get more involved in the installation. Lots of Arch Linux spins are available. One of the first ones I would use if I was recommending one would be the Easy Archer by Mr. Esnix. He's done an incredible amount of work to make sure you're going to get a vanilla Arch installed, and he makes it easy. You have 3 different ways to install it. Anyway, this is Arch Linux, and I'm going to try to keep this a little short. Trust me, if you ask somebody that knows me, I can talk about Arch Linux practically all day. You know, and blend in some other Linux distributions. So I'll be back on my last showcase, which is going to be basically showcasing all the other computers and Linux distributions that I'm using. I do use. So, thanks very much for watching. I'll catch you on another video. Peace out. Bye.